Here's a wild thought that's been keeping me up at night. Xiaomi just dropped a phone called the 17 Pro Max. Apple has a phone called the 17 Pro Max. Same name, same year, same we're the best energy. But here's what nobody's talking about. One of these phones has a 7,500 milliamp hour battery. The other barely cracks 5,000. One has a screen on the back, the other doesn't. And the price difference? Nearly $300. So, which one's actually better? Because spoiler alert, the answer isn't what you think. Let's break this down spec by spec, feature by feature, and figure out which phone deserves your money in 2025. Let's start with what everyone notices first, the design. And honestly, this is where things get spicy. The iPhone 17 Pro Max comes in this new aluminum unibody that Apple's calling heat-forged. Sounds fancy, right? It's lighter than the previous titanium design, conducts heat better, and comes in 3 colors: cosmic orange, silver, and deep blue. The back has this upgraded ceramic shield too that Apple says is 3 times more scratch resistant. Premium feel all around. Classic Apple, you pick it up and it just screams expensive. The 6.9-inch display has these ultra-thin bezels, ProMotion 150 Hz, and peaks at 3,000 nits of brightness outdoors. It's gorgeous, no debate there. But then you look at the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max and things get weird in a good way. It's also 6.9 inches. Also, 120 Hz LTPO AMOLED. Also peaks at 3,500 nits, which is actually brighter. But here's the kicker. There's a second screen on the back. A 2.9-inch AMOLED touchscreen. You can take selfies with the main camera using this back screen as your viewfinder. You can control music, check notifications, set timers. Xiaomi even says you can turn it into a handheld gaming console with the right case. It's not just a design choice, it's a whole vibe. And the phone comes in black, white, purple, and green. 4 colors instead of 3. And it's got IP68 water resistance just like the iPhone. Oh, and Xiaomi Dragon Crystal Glass 3 protection. They're clearly going head-to-head here. So design-wise, if you want classic premium elegance, iPhone wins. If you want futuristic, wait, what is that vibes? Xiaomi takes it. Both are beautiful. Both are premium. Pick your aesthetic. Now let's talk performance, because this is where Apple usually dominates. The iPhone 17 Pro Max runs on the A19 Pro chip, built on a 3nm process, 6-core CPU, 6-core GPU, paired with 12 gigs of RAM. Apple says it's the most powerful iPhone chip ever, which is what they say every year. But to be fair, they're usually right. This thing handles console-level gaming, 4K video editing, Apple Intelligence features, all without breaking a sweat. Plus, there's this new vapor chamber cooling system that uses deionized water sealed inside to move heat away from the chip. Sustained performance is bonkers, and iOS 26 is optimized specifically for this chip. Everything feels instant, zero lag. It's that Apple Silicon magic we've been seeing since the M1 days. But Xiaomi didn't come to play. The Xiaomi 17 Pro Max rocks the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, also built on a 3nm process. It's an octa-core processor clocking at 4.6 GHz, paired with either 12 or 16 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, depending on your configuration. And storage options go up to 1 TB. The iPhone maxes out at 2 TB, but starts at 256 gigs. Xiaomi starts at 5 and 12. In real-world usage, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 is no slouch. It's the same chip powering the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Gaming is smooth, multitasking is seamless. HyperOS 3 based on Android 16 is actually really good now. And here's something interesting. Xiaomi has better thermal management because of that larger body. Heat dissipation is fantastic. Performance-wise, it's honestly a tie. Both phones are absolute monsters. Apple might edge ahead in sustained performance and software optimization, but Xiaomi matches it with raw power and more RAM in the higher configs. You're not going wrong with either. Okay, cameras. This is where brand loyalty usually kicks in hard. iPhone people swear by iPhone cameras. Android people say specs matter. Let's look at the facts. The iPhone 17 Pro Max has three 48-megapixel cameras, main wide, ultra wide, and a new telephoto with up to 8x optical quality zoom. That's the longest optical zoom ever on an iPhone. Apple's computational photography is insane. Smart HDR, photonic engine, night mode, portrait mode with 6 lighting effects. The new 18-megapixel center stage front camera has this unique square sensor that lets you rotate images without rotating the phone. Wild! Plus, you can record with both front and rear cameras simultaneously, which creators are going to love. Video is where iPhone still dominates. Support for Apple Log 2, ProRes, Cinematic Mode, and compatibility with Blackmagic Camera Pro Dock for cinema-grade productions. Now Xiaomi brings Leica. Yeah, Leica, the camera company. Triple 50-megapixel setup with Leica Summilux lenses. Main sensor at f1.67 ultra-wide, and a periscope telephoto with 5x optical zoom. The Leica color science is gorgeous. Photos have this depth and richness that makes them look professional straight out of the camera. Night mode is excellent. Portrait mode with Leica's bokeh algorithms looks natural, not artificial. And because of that back screen, you can use the main cameras for selfies, which means your selfies are 50 megapixels instead of the usual front camera quality. That's actually genius. Video on the Xiaomi is solid. 4K at 60 FPS, HDR10+, Dolby Vision, gyro EIS stabilization. But it's not quite at iPhone's cinema-level features. If you're shooting content for YouTube or social media, both are excellent. If you're shooting actual films or need ProRes, iPhone wins. For photos, it's honestly preference. iPhone has that signature Apple look, bright, punchy, vibrant. Xiaomi has that Leica look, natural, film-like, artistic. I'd call cameras a tie with different strengths. Battery life. Oh man, this is where Xiaomi just flexes. The iPhone 17 Pro Max has a 4023 mAh battery. Apple says it's the longest battery life ever in an iPhone, up to 39 hours of video playback. That's genuinely impressive for Apple. Charging is faster too. 50% in 20 minutes with appropriate charger, up to 25-watt MagSafe wireless charging. But then Xiaomi rolls in with a 7,500 mAh battery. That's over 55% bigger. Even with that power-hungry back screen, this thing will last you 2 days easy. And charging? 100 watts wired, 50 watts wireless. Plus, reverse wireless charging. You can fully charge this phone in like 30-something minutes. The iPhone takes over an hour. Xiaomi also includes the charger in the box. Apple doesn't. Battery and charging? Xiaomi wins. No contest. It's not even close. If you're someone who's always near an outlet, maybe it doesn't matter. But if you travel, if you use your phone heavily, if you forget to charge overnight, Xiaomi's battery is a lifesaver. Software and ecosystem. This is Apple's superpower. iOS 26 with Apple Intelligence is smooth, polished, and integrates seamlessly with MacBook, iPad, Apple Watch, AirPods, iMessage, FaceTime, iCloud, AirDrop. Everything just works together. Privacy features are top tier. 7 years of software updates guaranteed. The App Store has every app optimized for iPhone. If you're already in the Apple ecosystem, staying in makes sense. Xiaomi runs HyperOS 3 based on Android 16. It's improved massively from old MIUI days. Cleaner interface, less bloatware, better optimization. but software updates, maybe 3 to 4 years, not 7. And if you're in the US, some features might be limited or missing. The phone is primarily designed for Chinese and global markets, not necessarily the US. Google services are installed, but the experience isn't quite as refined as Pixel or Samsung. Ecosystem matters. If you're deep in Apple land, switching to Xiaomi means giving up that seamless integration. If you're Android first or don't care about ecosystem, Xiaomi offers incredible value. This comes down to personal investment in the ecosystem. Let's talk price because this is huge. The iPhone 17 Pro Max starts at $199 for 256 gigs. That's Apple's flagship price, and it's been consistent for years. You're paying for premium everything: hardware, software, ecosystem, brand. The Xiaomi 17 Pro Max? Around $900 to $973 depending on region and retailer. That's nearly $300 less for the base model. And you're getting 512 gigs of storage standard, not 256. A bigger battery, a second screen, similar performance for $300 less. Value-wise, Xiaomi destroys. You're getting flagship specs, innovative features, and insane battery life for significantly less money. But availability is the problem. Xiaomi's harder to buy in the US. Customer support isn't as robust. Resale value is lower. And brand perception matters. People know iPhone. They don't know Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. So which one's actually better? Here's the truth. It depends on what better means to you. If you want the most polished, seamless, long-term supported experience with perfect ecosystem integration, and you're willing to pay for it, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is the better phone. It's the safe choice, the premium choice, the choice that'll last 7 years with updates and hold resale value. But if you want maximum specs, innovation, absurd battery life, and you want to save $300 while getting a phone that's genuinely competitive, the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is the better value. It's the risk-taker's choice, the spec hunter's choice, the choice that says, I want bleeding-edge tech without the Apple tax. For me personally, I'd pick the Xiaomi. That 7,500 milliamp hour battery alone is enough. The back screen is cool. The Leica cameras are gorgeous. And saving $300 means I can buy accessories, a case, maybe even a smartwatch with the difference. But I totally understand why someone would pick the iPhone. That ecosystem is real. That software support is real. That resale value is real. There's no wrong answer here. Both phones are incredible. It's just about what matters most to you. And honestly, the fact that we're even having this conversation, that Xiaomi is going toe-to-toe with Apple on a phone with the same name, shows how competitive the flagship market has become. Competition is good, it pushes everyone to be better, and we, the consumers, win. If this video helped you decide, or if you're still torn, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me which one you'd pick and why. I genuinely want to know. And subscribe to Tech Underhood because we're breaking down the tech comparisons that actually matter in 2025. See you in the next one. And whichever phone you pick, enjoy that upgrade. You've earned it.